Hello. Happy Saturday, everyone. We're here. Made it. I tell you. So, welcome in. Welcome in, Joni, again. I think you were the first one to comment or last time in the chat. Hi, Bonnie. Hi, Rick. Hi, Lena. Hi, Liddell, Donna, Salem Shadow, Lisa, Mary from Ireland, Zaza. Welcome in, Zaza. Ciara. Salut. Blau Chili, hello. And Jean-Marc, oh my gosh, you're here like right at the start. Jean-Marc, welcome in. Janet Louise, welcome in. And hi, Connie. Okay, so I caught up there. Anyway, here we are. It's a rainy Saturday in my neck of the woods. I don't know about you guys. Let's hit those likes to 20. Let's just get it right to 20 right now. Gosh, you guys are hanging out on a whole bunch of sites, aren't you, for live streams? Bonjour, Lignon. From Switzerland. I think you're my first viewer from Switzerland. I mean, in the live stream. Welcome in. Bienvenue. Violets and Roses, welcome in. Dachshund Gal. Oh, you have snow in Germany. Not surprising, Lena. Sandy. Gosh, I'm having a lot of international people in here today. Good for you. You know, I love the international community. Patricia, Nina, and Helena from Portugal, and Kate from Norway, and Maria, Cecilia. Okay, I think I caught up again. Anyway, welcome in all of you. Let me first announce that I survived my flu shot. I got a flu shot right over here in this arm. And the good news is I didn't have any bad problems from it. Like it didn't make me have a fever or chills or feel kind of yucky. I had a little sore arm for a couple days. Didn't get red or anything really, just sore. And so I'm going to get a flu shot every year now. Now a new era has begun, the era of the flu shot. So, I don't know why I got so few flu shots in the last 30 years. It's weird. But anyway, I'm too old now. I got to get the frickin' flu shot. So, yeah. And so any of you that have not yet had your flu shot and you're open to a flu shot, I encourage you to get it because, the flu's really bad this year. So, hi, Caroline from Sweden. Hi, Leonelli. Hi, HFC. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I had only had maybe 3 flu shots in the last 30 years, so I honestly couldn't remember if I had a reaction to it. I do have a reaction to the COVID shot, like the next day. I don't have it the day I get the shot. I have it the next morning. I get like a chills and fever for a few hours. And I did get a reaction from the second pneumonia shot the same way. So I do generally have like a reaction to some shots, but thank goodness. I really didn't want to feel yucky. Anyway. Hi, Suzanne. In Bend. I've been to Bend. It's a lovely place. I know, Rick. You do know how important it is. Well, they kept bugging me every time I'd gone into the doctor this fall, every single time, even though I said, no, I'm probably not getting the flu shot. Every time I went in, they go, we'd like to give you the shot. I just got the shot at Walmart from the pharmacist, which was fine. No, Anna, I have not had a shingles shot yet, but that is my next shot. I'm going to get that in a month or two. I usually like to wait at least a month between vaccines, give your system a chance to recoup. But yeah, I got to get the shingles. I think there's a series of 2 on that. I don't know how far apart they are, but I got to start that. Yeah. Hi, Patricia in Indiana. Hi, John. Welcome in. We know you love us boomers, John Mark. Thank you for looking out for us. Hi, Portland, Oregon. Lovely P&W there. I take it that stands for Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I'm not wavering. You know, the older shingle shot wasn't as effective, and that's why I didn't get it a few years ago. But the new shingle shot it keeps you from getting it like 85%. 85% that you don't even get shingles. So I'm going for that. Yeah. We just don't even want to deal with it. Hi, Cat's Klein or Cat's Line. Oh, thank you for following me for a while. Thanks, Zaza. Yeah, I don't know how far it's spread out for the shingle shot. Oh no, Lena, you got shingles? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I hope you're getting treated for it. I've known people who had shingles, so I know what it's like. Hi, Teffy. Welcome in, moderator. Hi, Ileana and Leah. Yeah, it might make me sick. Oh, it says it's Shingrix is 97% effective. I thought it was about 85, but I'm glad it's more. Yeah, the older shot was only about 50% effective, and I thought, well, that's not great. Hi, Quetzline from San Miguel de Allende. Oh, it was 1 month between shingle shots, Zaza? Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know. Sometimes they want you to wait 6 months or something, so I wasn't sure. Yeah, I definitely am going to have it when I have a couple of days afterward to recover from it. So that's fine. I don't mind if it makes me sick as long as it works. Well, yes, everyone must do research, but docs and gal, let's not scare people about vaccines, please, on here. Okay, so that was that. I got that. And then the other announcement I have to make, which is kind of a bummer for me, um, is there won't be any more, well, for a while. Oh, there's Lucy and George back there, by the way. There won't be any Tuesday live stream for a while. There's a few reasons for this. Let me explain. The first reason is I don't generally get as many viewers on the Tuesday live stream as I do on the Saturday live stream. And that's understandable. It's during the week. And not necessarily that a lot of people not at work or whatever, but it's just that they have things to do. They're busy. They have appointments, whatever. So I have gotten fewer views overall on Tuesdays. So, but the horrible thing that just happened with YouTube, which I was kind of expecting because my views have done this anyway for months, is that they also what they pay me for ad revenue went down. So I used to make pretty good ad revenue for my live streams. And for some reason, I guess probably because I'm not getting as many views. I mean, I'm not getting tremendously less views on the live stream than I used to or anything. But anyway, my ad revenue, when I saw what I earned for Tuesday on ad revenue, I just was horrified. It was like less than $9. I did an hour and a half live stream and I got less than $9. So I thought, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to have to just stop the Tuesdays. And it's not just for that reason. It's also that I have a new announcement, which I'm not staying yet, but I have a new project. So I'm going to be busier during the week. So I just think I can't reliably do a Tuesday live stream. Saturdays are great for me. So I hope they're good for you. And HFC asked if they're lowering me or pay to channels generally. It's not just me. They're doing this to a lot of channels. But what it is, I mean, it's understandable. I don't blame them for the fact that if I'm getting less views, then they have to charge advertisers less. And if they charge advertisers less, then I'm getting less money. I mean, it's just, that's capitalism. Okay. So, so, but this has been happening even long before I got monetized. I remember channels online discussing the fact that all of a sudden their pay, what's called your RPM, which is your revenue per 1,000 views. In other words, what you get paid, whether it's a live stream or a regular video, they were saying that that went down. And so, this has been happening for lots of channels for a long time. So it is what it is. I figure, I'm not missing that much. I'm sorry. I know some of you really like having the 2 live streams. I'm not saying I'll do it forever. We'll see what happens with the channel. We'll see what happens with this new thing I'm doing. But for now, no Tuesday live streams for a while, at least. We'll still have Saturdays, and I'll still put out 2 videos a week. No, Blau Chili, they're not supporting real channels over AI. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. I'm sorry. AI is part of what's killing people on YouTube right now. I mean, killing their channels. So I'm just trying to, I'm swimming as fast as I can. I am tap dancing as fast as I can through this, trying to just get through it. So anyway, just keep tuning into the Saturday live streams and give this a like, please. And hi, Edie, welcome in. Hi, Miss Gogiland, welcome in. Oh no, wild horses had shingles in your ears. Oh, I know. The face, when you get it on your face, shingles, that's the part that's really horrifying to me. So I don't know yet, Jelly Bean. The ad revenue varies per day. It's never quite exactly the same, but usually on live streams, I was getting about $20 per mil, which means $20 per 1,000 views for live streams, average, sometimes less, sometimes 22. It just depends, but it plummeted this last week. I don't know why. I did okay over Christmas on the holiday live streams, but yeah. Carly asked a very good question. How do we know if content is AI? And, that's going to be harder to discern as time goes on, actually. I'd say right now it's pretty easy to determine. Usually there's mistakes in the visuals of some kind. Usually it's not a human voice, like it doesn't sound like a real person. And so, yeah, it's pretty easy to see them now, or if it just looks too fantastical. Like, they're using a lot of AI for like adventure stuff, like people jumping off cliffs and doing like crazy stuff like that. A lot of that's AI now. It just depends, you just have to use your powers of reasoning with it. To me, if you're suspicious at all that it's AI, it's probably AI. That's kind of my rule of thumb. So, yeah. But it's going to be harder to tell as time goes on, It's just, yeah, that's the other thing. Ileana says the faces look a bit unreal. They generally look younger. They've been enhanced, I'm not enhanced. Look at this. Come on. Oh my God. Anyway, okay, so that's a couple of announcements there, and stay tuned. I will have some announcements coming up. I may just look for the community tabs this week. I may have another announcement coming up this week it'll be about a good thing. Hi, Katerina, welcome in. Oh, you have snow now. Well, I'm glad you have snow because you're in Sweden. Yeah. Yeah, Teffy. I know. It's AI everything. Okay, so let's get those likes up to 90. We're at 86. Come on, we can do that. Hi, Pamela J. Welcome in. Yes, Patricia, they do mispronounce words on AI. That's the one that really grates on me because I hate to hear things mispronounced. So I just like, no. Yes. See, a lot of you are giving guys thing. Yeah, yeah. I know. I don't know I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I know that YouTube, I'll be honest, I think YouTube is trying to be better about it than the other social media platforms, but that's not saying a lot because I think they're still rewarding these people that run these channels like this. I'm sorry, I'm buffering a bit. I can see on the thing. Can't do much about that. Hopefully it'll be fine. Yes, there's different types of AI, Rick. Yes, there's computer generated ones that are just totally computer generated. And then there's some things where they patch together. And, a lot of creators that are, I mean, I'm fortunate. I'm a small fish relatively. I mean, uh, I've had one video that they stole my content and made an AI generated video from it, but they stole my words. I think I told you about that. It happened about a year ago. But I guess the one advantage on having a small fry channel relatively is that I'm not going to get stolen from a lot. But the bigger channels, the really like very, lucrative channels, they're getting a lot of their stuff duplicated, stolen outright, and they're trying to get the stuff taken down. But it's like playing whack-a-mole. Every time you take down one, there's two that come up in its place. That's how prevalent AI is right now. So, and it's just going to get worse before there are better regulations about it, but who knows if that's ever going to happen. Lena asks, how many hours do I work on my channel per day? That's a really good question, Lena. I don't have an answer for that because I don't really keep track of it. I'd say I work on stuff on my channel every day, but some days it might be an hour and some days it might be 5 hours. It just depends on the day and what I have to do. Like today, I'll use today as an example. I'm doing a live stream. I didn't really do much I mean, I took about a half an hour to get prepped for the live stream as far as get everything set up and all that. And then I'm on here, let's say an hour and a half, right? And then I have to edit. I already filmed the video for tomorrow that's going up, but I still have to edit it and upload that. That could take about an hour or so. I have to do a little more editing than normal, so maybe an hour and a half. So today is a day I'm probably working 3 to 4 hours. It just depends on the day. But it's a good question. It's a part-time job. It's not a full-time job, but it is a part-time job. Now, it might end up being more full-time eventually. I don't know. Um, yeah. Yes, Patricia, we do have to really analyze everything we see on social media. It really is important. It really is because there's just going to be so much garbage out there on this. A lot of the big creators and stuff, what they're talking about, what they're worried about is people are going to be taking their images and digitizing them so it looks like real and then putting false words in their mouth. I mean, they're going to be saying things that are not even normally things they would say. You know what I mean? That is scary. So, yeah, HFC. Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm a smaller creator. I haven't grown in the last year. I've just been kind of stagnant. And, but I'm still getting squeezed about it because, and you know what? I'll be really honest with you. I don't know if I were starting from scratch right now with a brand new channel and I had no existing platform on YouTube. I don't know how easy it would be to really make it anymore. I'm just being real with you. I know some of you have have channels, or some of you want to have channels or whatever. I'm just being real with you. I don't really know how. I think it's more difficult now, is my feeling. So anyway, Katarina asks, is it's rude to ask what you get per month in cash from YouTube? It depends. Right now it's going down. I know that. I may be making half this year monthly of what I made last year, probably, unless things turn around. And that's doing the same amount of work for half the money. And it may be as little as $500 a month, honestly. That's my fear, is it's going to go down to that. So anyway. Yes, we do need more stringent laws, Carly, against AI representing as reality. Yeah. Yeah, wild horses. I know. I've seen that too. Right now, Jelly Bean, I use just iMovie on the Apple products. It's so easy to use. And, for the type of editing I do, it works. I mean, I'd like to learn a more complicated editing program, and I may have to, depending on my new project is, but I don't know. I don't know. Noreen asks, is January usually a low paying month? It was last year. I had low pay last January too. So far, January is looking bad again. So it's possible that it's still going to vary per month. I think last year, my lowest month, and this is gross. I know one of you were asking about after taxes. I don't really compute that because I have to take out expenses and things like that. And there's a whole procedure. So I never really know exactly how much taxes it's going to be. The only thing I've really owed so far is self-employment taxes, because I haven't really made a lot. And last year, I have a lot of deductions from the trip to Europe and stuff, because a lot of that was deductible. So I won't really owe much for last year. But anyway, back to what I was going to say. I can tell you what my low amount I made per month last year was. The lowest month I made $880 in January, for January last year. My biggest month, I made about $2,200 and change. I had a couple of months like that where I made $2,200 and something. That's the range. And it's usually like somewhere in the middle most of the time. So if that helps. But I haven't had sponsorships. I only did one sponsorship at one time. I'm not getting much offers at this point because my channel is relatively small. And it just hasn't worked out. That I only want to do a sponsorship if it's something I really like. Well, it's good amounts for part-time. It's never been a full-time income. If I didn't have any Social Security, I wouldn't have, worked at all. Yes, I know. Well, I don't think C's Candy is going to pay me in money. I think they'd pay me in candy. That's my feeling. If I have not approached them yet, but I would have a feeling that I would get candy instead of money. That's what happens, is a lot of times companies pay you in their product and you don't really get cash, unfortunately. So, yes, it will work for candy. Yeah, iMovie is really easy to use. I'm just comfortable with it, but there's a lot of things it won't do. And so I'm limited in I'd like to do better editing, but I just don't have the tools on there to do it. So anyway, all right. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was reaching for something. Okay, so let's chat more about. Well, let me answer Joni's question first. Have you tried or are interested in getting a part-time job? I could not do that. I couldn't work at a store. I can't stand up for long periods. I can't work for long periods of time. The best I'd be able to do is if I have to get something part-time is I could drive now that I have a car. I could drive for, Uber, or I could drive like Uber Eats or, DoorDash or something. That's the most I'd be able to do. I can't work at a store. I'm not physically up to that. I know that technically I could work as a Walmart greeter and they'd let me sit down for that. But you know, oh, I know, Elizabeth. So like I said, I'm not going to owe hardly anything for last year, honestly. Even with what I made, I had so many deductions plus the standard deduction, other things. Like I just, yeah. Well, I wouldn't want to go work in a store. So, but it's just the frustration of I'm limited in what I can make for my, as far as an income. And I'm not losing hope about YouTube. I just think, I've been in this for the long haul already, and I've been through ups and downs and things like this before. I just think that it's just tough right now. Teffy, yes, look for an announcement about that. I am going to be doing some coaching. Yeah, that is going to help a little bit if enough people. And that's actually, thank you for the segue, because yes, if any of you are interested in like this at this point would be individual coaching. Uh I'm only offering like 5 spots for the rest of January. If you're interested in that, send me an email to my email, eldergalbusiness@gmail.com. Tell me you're interested. Tell me what you want to work on. This isn't hardcore therapy or anything. This is like coaching about, life stuff that goes on, like dealing with grief or dealing with change in your life or getting older, things like that. So let me know if you're interested. Send me an email and I'll put an announcement up on my community tab. I'm only going to offer a limited amount of these. I'm going to just see how it works. It'll be like an hour-long session. It will be through Zoom. I'm doing it in a very like basic way. So you just let me know if you're interested, and then we can discuss, the fee and stuff for that. And eventually, yeah, I mean, life, we might even do group stuff or something like that. We'll see. So, but that is an option that will help kind of offset what YouTube is not paying me for the regular stuff. So I didn't do a lot of videos on estrangement during the holidays. I think I just did one. And no, I my biggest video was actually the one where I said, actually the one I just put out did fairly well. I mean, they aren't doing great as they did like a year ago. But the it did fairly well. And but the other video was about, what I learned after 50, I'll tell you in so many minutes or whatever. That one did okay. I mean, there are certain types of videos that I know YouTube is probably going to like more, but it's always like a fine line between deciding what to do and what I really would like to do. I mean, so yeah, that's a thing. Hi, Kimber. Welcome in. Thank you so much for being a member. Oh, can't do a cooking channel, Jean-Marc. No. No, we haven't had, it still hasn't been great weather. January is just a tough time to go out and do outings. I've got some things planned. Doesn't look like the weather's going to be better for at least another couple of weeks. Plus, I have a tooth extraction coming up in a little more than a week and a half. Finally, I get that tooth taken out. For people, some of you keep asking about it. Yes, the rotten tooth is coming out finally. And I think I will feel better afterwards, a lot better. So anyway, I mean, I'm feeling okay. My blood pressure's been fine. I mean, it's controlled. So anyway. I'm not sure if we get that, Arena, that editing program. I've never heard of Wondershare Filmora. That may be a European thing. Some things are not available everywhere, unfortunately. but it might be. I mean, I just haven't heard of it. Groceries, I don't really, I'll be honest. My budget is about $75 a week for food. I think I pretty much stay within that. I don't eat out much. Last time I ate out was a week and a half before Christmas. I don't really eat out. I don't get fast food. So it's about $75 a week, so about 300 a month for food. But I don't eat tons of meat either. I don't buy a lot of meat. So that's what helps me kind of, because some of the meat is really expensive. So I get usually salmon once a week and I have that. But yeah. John remembers my number one lesson of being a good teacher. You don't have to win a popularity contest. I know. Okay, I do have to say something, and I'm saying it with humor. I'm not mad about it. It's just I got to share it with you guys. This is just so freaking weird. So it just goes to show you, and that no matter what you talk about on here, whether it's a live stream or my regular videos, doesn't really matter. Somebody is going to take offense at it. Now, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to use a visual aid for this one. All right. So remember last time when I pulled apart my little Matryoshka doll from the Soviet Union from 50 years ago? Okay. I got somebody that actually commented, and I'm not even kidding about this. I just bring it up because it's so ludicrous. Okay. They're like, do you know how many Russians are guilty of killing so many innocent people and blah, 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 and all this? And I'm like, seriously? First of all, this little Matryoshka doll is 50 years old. And she's not involved in the current conflict, nor when she was created in a factory was she involved in the current conflict. So my point about this is, are we going to cancel a whole culture because of something bad that's going on? I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I just, of course, blocked and deleted this person. I was like, I don't even know who it was, but it was like, are you serious? Yeah, that's right. This is folk art, Jan. It's folk art. It doesn't matter what country it comes from or what they're doing right now in the world. Now, that being said, given what's going on in Russia right now, would I go actively seek one of these out and go to Russia on a trip right now? Probably not. But are you kidding me that you're trying to make me feel bad about having a Matryoshka doll from 50 years ago? So I'm sharing it because it just shows you how ludicrous things have become on the internet. Now, I'm sure this person was just a troll and they're just, people pick up stuff and they just want to argue with you about anything, and it's like, seriously. So I'm going to share another one with you. Do I need a visual aid for this one? I do. I'll grab this out of my little thing. Remember my little pashmina I was wearing the other day? It was on Tuesday because I was trying to keep warm because I just had a lighter shirt on. And I talked about this, that I've had this for over 20 years. It's a real pashmina. It's cashmere and silk. I had people guilting me over the fact that silkworms died for this. Okay, you're not touching me at all here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be so mean about silkworms, but I can't get upset about the silkworms right now. There's a lot more important things to be upset about in the world right now. And silkworms is not one of them for me. In fact, I know they're worms and I don't like worms. So why would I frickin' care? Okay. So I'm just putting it out there. again, with a sense of humor, but it's like, stop, people. Come on, get a grip. If you want to talk about innocent animals dying, large animals, why don't you go ahead and just protest about the meat industry in the country or something? That makes more sense. I'm not going to get upset about the worms. And if that offends your sensibility, don't watch me, please. Okay? And anybody that's going to get upset, okay, close your ears right now. Don't even listen to this. You know I'm being so snarky right now. It's like, I love killing bugs. I love killing bugs. Okay? Cockroaches, ants, bugs. I love killing them. So if that offends you, please don't watch this channel. Okay? I'd like to see AI take that one on. Because what's funny is somebody said something in the chat about that. Like, do you realize about the pashmina again? Do you realize the animals that died for that? And I thought, well, that doesn't make sense. It's mostly wool. Like, they don't kill sheep for wool. They just shear the sheep, right? So I was thinking, like, it didn't even occur to me what they were talking about. And then they brought up the silk. And I'm like, seriously? Do you know how many people wear silk in the world? Like, if you're going to do that, then don't ever wear leather. Don't wear leather shoes. Carry a leather purse, because that should offend you. I'm just saying, to people that are that sensitive about it. And I'm not saying it's not okay to be that sensitive, but you don't need to come on here and try to guilt me about it. You're not going to guilt me about the silkworms. You're not going to do it. I don't care if they die for their craft. Okay. They're worms. Just saying. You understand now why I could never be a Buddhist. Well, it is humor, Elizabeth, but it's dark, sarcastic humor. Okay. Because you don't understand what it's like to get these comments from people, and you're like, what? You're getting upset about that? They start it. They start this thing. So anyway, I had to vent. Better way to vent on the live stream than do it on a regular video. So that's me. Yes, silkworms died in the creation of this 20-something-year-old pashmina, and I don't care. All right. Anyway. Yes, Anna, they're just virtue signaling. I agree. I'm sorry. Now, I love animals in general, except for bugs and worms. But I'm just saying, oh, Hereford, it says the worms don't die for their cocoons. I used to raise them. Well, see, then people aren't even being smart about what they're saying. They're not dying. Oh my gosh. Well, they didn't get me going. It just makes me laugh because it's just so ridiculous. Anyway, maybe they like to see me rant. I don't know. Thank you, Jan. Yes, thank you for saying that. Yes, I do like ladybugs, Joni. I don't ever kill a ladybug. They are adorable. Okay. If it's a cute bug, yeah, it survives for me. But I do kill bugs and I enjoy it. And if you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. We used to get these little ants at my apartment in California. And, like the sugar ants, I think they call them or something. They would come in the kitchen in the summer or the bathroom or whatever. And yeah, well, that's why I don't give out my address, John. Anyway, and I know this just sounds perverse, but it's me. I love killing those things with my fingers, like just squashing them. And I also use peppermint oil to keep them away for the most part. I don't like using bug spray because it's toxic anyway. But yeah, I love killing the little tiny ants. Yeah, I do. So Yes, it is. It is a little sadism, LOL, HFC. My friend used to laugh about it in California because he would ask me, he goes, "Have you killed any ants today?" And I go, "Yes," and I enjoyed it. So just saying. I'd rather be doing that than doing what other people like to do. So, which is a lot worse. So, okay, we can get off that subject now. I just had to share because you know what? If you want to do that stuff to me on my live stream, I'm not gonna call you out by name, but yeah, I'm gonna say something sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I'll say something and I'll just go, don't be stupid, please. Anyway, I probably just lost 5 subscribers. Yay! Muskogee Land says, it's not like I'm running a meth lab in Ohio. I know. Or, yeah, I don't have a lab where I'm actively killing silkworms every day. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Ants I would kill. I'm worried that I may get those little ants in this apartment this coming year because there were these little traps in here when I moved in. And I'm thinking, I may be on a killing spree. I may be on a killing spree. Well, I'm glad some of you get my weird humor. You know what? You have to have a sense of humor. You do. You just have to. So, oh, flies. I hate flies. Oh, Joni, they're the worst. I agree. Well, I don't like I don't know. Cockroaches are horrible too. I haven't had to deal with either of those for a long time, really. Where I lived in California, we had flies once. One year, for some reason, I kept getting flies in my apartment, and I couldn't understand it because I didn't leave my front door open, and I had screens, and they didn't have holes in them. So I'm like, where are these flies coming from? And I hate it because the best way to kill flies, I didn't like putting up glue strips and stuff, but the best way to kill flies is during the day. Have a window, like take the blinds up or whatever at a window and let them go to the window. And then you smack them with the fly swatter. That's the best way to get them. At night, it's a little trickier trying to kill a fly. So you want to do it during the day if you can. Yes, I remember. Connie, remember I went on the rant in France about the no screens that freaked me out? You know what's weird is it never ended up being a problem. Well, the first place I lived at in Perpignan, it would have been a problem because there were flies out on the balcony, even when I was in that first apartment. But it was so cold and stuff, I didn't really ever have my door open. And so I never really had flies in there. Then when I went to Dijon and I had to open my windows because it would get warm in there without it. Amazingly, I never got flies. I think because it was up on the 9th floor or something. I don't know. I never got flies. So, and then the other places I was at, like in the summer in Albania, they all had air conditioning and I didn't have my doors open and stuff. So, it never really ended up being a big issue is my point. But yeah, the flies though, it does bother me. I'm sorry that I get enjoyment out of it. They're very low on the food chain rung, and I'm sorry. That's why I can't be a Buddhist because do like killing the bugs. I do. Rick says, "Not sorry he murders fleas." Yeah, there you go. Yeah, fleas are yucky. And I know people that don't kill bugs, and good for them. I think that's wonderful. I had another friend in California, one of the musician friends I had, that he did not kill bugs. If he had found a bug in his where he lived, he would catch it and take it outside. It's like, and I told him that's wonderful. I don't. think that's bad. I just can't do it. That's not, it doesn't work for me. I need to kill it. Just, I think all the other religions, Teffy, except for Buddhism, are pretty much, they don't really have a stance on the bug killing. I don't think that's a big thing for them. So I know. We got off on a weird subject. Somebody bring up another's topic. So but see, you guys have a lot of feelings about this bug thing. I can see it coming in on the chat. Oh, what am I reading? Joni asked. Well, it's good. Yeah, good segue, Joni. I'm reading this again because I'm going to be discussing it on my spiritual channel. So for those of you who watch my Elder Gal Spirit, next Friday, I will have a video up on this book. I've been rereading it I don't think I've read this in over 20 years. I've had this book since the 1980s. This came out in 1984, this edition. And I have had this book since then. And I don't think I've read it in over 20 years. I think last time I read it, I was in graduate school for counseling. And I'm kind of amazed at some of, when you haven't read something for a long time, different things jump out at you from the book. So, yeah, I'm going to be sharing this next Friday on Elder Gal Spirit. Oh, yeah, I really hate mosquitoes, Anna. Yeah. Noreen asked if there's been any snow. Where I'm at, no. We're supposed to maybe get a little tomorrow, and off and on in the next 2 weeks, we have some snow scheduled. I don't know how bad it's going to be. All the snow's melted that we got before Christmas. So it's just rain. Today it's raining. But anyway. Yes, I love Viktor Frankl. I won't share it because I want you guys to watch the video about my thoughts on it. But I have such an amazing respect for him, not just that he survived what he did, because other people survived, but the fact that he was able to write this. He literally wrote this right after the war, like very quickly. I think he said he wrote it in like 9 days, something like that. Crazy. And I just think to myself, and it's because he had an important point to make about it wasn't sensationalistic. In fact, he wasn't even going to put his name on it initially. It was going to be anonymous. Isn't that interesting? But I just think he did such wonders, not just for the world of psychology, but just people in general, Yes. Thank you for saying that, Wild Horses. Yes, I know. This is an appropriate book for all of us right now. Just saying. Just saying. So anyway, no, I have not. I'll tell you, I'm terrified of getting the flu. Hence why I got the flu shot. And I'm waiting for the flu shot to really take its effect, which takes about 1 to 2 weeks after you get the shot. And I'm really afraid to be around a lot of people right now. So I'm minimizing that for the next week or two. And I might still wear a mask going into the rec center. But it's been good enough weather that I've been able to walk outside. So I've been doing my walks outdoors. But yeah, I will be. I mean, they don't get charged for the silver sneakers unless I actually go there. So it's not like they're putting out money for me that is not doing anything. So yeah. Well, the mask is more important than the can of Lysol, right? It's people coughing. That's the problem. So, yeah, it's rampant here too, Connie. I know it's rampant in a lot of states. I can't wait to, I look at the CDC flu map. They come out with a new flu map every week. It tells you like if things are increasing or decreasing in a certain area, whatever. So I just keep looking for that to decrease. So, I know I got the shot, but that doesn't, I still can get the flu. It just won't be as severe probably, but I really still don't want to get the flu, Yeah, I'm the same way, wild horses. Right now, yeah, I don't want to be around groups of people, and I'm wearing masks when I go to Walmart. And yeah, it's just I will be glad when this passes because I don't like being, I never really worried about it the whole time I was in Europe last year. Um, and I didn't ever get a bug like that when I was in Europe. So but yeah, I've gotten really, I think because I got really sick last, and I got sick again with even a bad cold, and it's like it just made me, I just don't want to be sick for a while. That's just really it. Is that about me, Teffy, or someone else? If it's me you're telling folks about, thank you. Oh, John Mark's having chicken for dinner. I'm announcing it. He's announced it, so he's having chicken. Oh yeah, I also use my Purell, which I'm sorry. I know you guys in Europe don't get Purell, but Purell is the best hand sanitizer. Now I know there's a reason it's not sold in Europe. I'm not really sure. I don't remember exactly what that reason is, but probably there's something in it that is considered not okay because Europe's a lot better about keeping certain chemicals away. But oh, thank you, Teffy. Anyway, but yeah, I love Purell because it doesn't leave that taste like when you use a lot of hand sanitizers. I don't know about you guys, but what happens is you get this stuff, residue on your fingers, and then if you touch your face or your mouth or whatever, you taste it. Like it's this bitter, like weird taste. You guys know what I'm talking about. Purell doesn't do that. It's the only one I've ever tried that doesn't do that. And I'm like, so why wouldn't I want to use Purell? Just saying. Yeah, it does dry out your skin. I don't use it. I only use it when I'm out somewhere, and then like I have some in my purse. I always keep a filled small bottle, and then I use it when I get in the car. Is what I do, especially if I'm using like a shopping cart or something like that. So, but you guys know what I mean about the taste thing. There's like this. Not that I'm drinking it. Okay, it sounds like I'm drinking the Purell. No, I'm not. It's just that it's a thing. I'm very sensitive to bad taste stuff. And I know when I was in Europe, I ran out of Purell because I couldn't bring like boatloads of it with me. And I ran out of Purell and I had to buy, I don't even remember what brand it was. I had to buy a local hand sanitizer, and it had that horrible like thing that it left on my fingers. It's like you have to use the hand sanitizers, and then you have to wash your hands from the hand sanitizer because it leaves this horrible taste that if you then eat afterwards or something, you get it in your mouth. It's horrible. So Purell doesn't do that. And I just would like to know why. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. See, some of you know, well, you know what I'm talking about the bad taste thing. Yeah. I just don't shake hands now, John. I do everything I can not to shake hands. So if I ever do a meet and greet and I meet you guys, don't try to shake hands with me. I'll do a fist bump, but no shaking hands. No, I already stopped that long ago. I've had unfortunately some doctors, which still amazes me, try to shake my hand, and I did shake a couple of doctors' hands, and I hate it. It's like, guys, you work in medicine. You know darn well it's the best way to catch germs from somebody else is through their hands. So I know, Joni. I think we should bring back not shaking hands too, but I thought that would take off after COVID, but it didn't. So yeah, Teffy mentions gloves, but back in the day, women, when they went out, not men usually, but women used to wear gloves. And I'm always thinking, that was smart. I mean, just because then they would take off their gloves if they went to lunch or something, and then they don't. But it's like you're out in the world touching a bunch of stuff, and it's like, yeah, I mean, gloves kind of make sense, really. But then, of course, now we have disposable. Back then, they didn't really have disposable gloves. Now we do. Oh, Reen, I have declined a handshake, and I've gotten a couple people not react greatly to that, where I say something like, "I'm sorry, I don't shake hands," and so anyway, I will. I like hugs. Yes, Daughter of Earth asked about hugs. I will do a hug as long as somebody's not sick. If you're sick, I'm not going to hug you. Just saying. But if you're not sick, yeah, I would hug. Yeah, see now, yeah, you guys are, yeah. Oh, I remember even when I was growing up wild horses, I did used to wear gloves more even when I was a kid. Like I even wore gloves as a child. I have pictures with me with gloves on and we're going out somewhere. And I'm like 8. So even girls, like young girls used to wear gloves. Yeah. Yeah, I love hugs actually. I do come, I mean, my mother and father were both they were hugging people. So I grew up loving hugs. And of course, my dad's family was Italian, so of course I loved hugs. And I used to get lots of hugs. And I do love hugs. I don't obviously get that many anymore because I'm alone a lot. So and hugs are good for your health and well-being. Yeah. And I don't touch my face. There's this, I won't say who it is. I just touched my glasses, but I don't touch my face a lot. I'm very aware of that. I tend to not touch my face a tremendous amount. There's a YouTube person that I watch. It's a guy. And on his YouTube channel, he touches his face and he's always wiping his like hand across his like mouth or something or his eyes or and this is while he's filming and I'm thinking, dude, are you aware how much you touch your face? Like I'm just thinking like and this is like he'll be out somewhere, not just at home. And it's just like, wow, how many germs is that guy wiping on his face? Now I realize I'm a little bit of a germaphobe, so to me that is a little scary, but yeah, I don't understand why people touch their face so much. I mean, I know everybody does it to some degree, even me, but I try not to. I've gotten kind of in the habit of not doing it. So, Teffy asked a good question. In my last video, I said, I like being in the US. Would you change your mind if you had the means to relocate? That is a very good question, Teffy. I will discuss that now. And I will discuss it by being really careful about how I discuss this. Okay, so everybody, all of you viewers that live in the US, you're aware of what's going on in the US right now. I'm not going to get into politics, and we're not talking names, and we're not getting into that. But I am going to say things are getting escalating, and things are getting scary. And there is a part of me that wish I didn't have to be here for this because I don't know how scary it's going to get. And but I have thought about what you asked, Teffy, that if I had the money, which I can't even do it at this point. I don't have the money to go somewhere else, to live somewhere else right now, especially now that my income's gone down from YouTube. So it's not even possible. But if I had it, would I go and where would I go? And I don't know. I mean, I guess in a crisis, I would probably go somewhere temporarily. Um, but I just don't, I don't know. It's still, see, the thing is, as scary as things look to me right now, and they honestly look pretty scary. Um, this is my home. As I said in that video, I was not lying. That is I did not realize I was going to have that feeling because I had spent so much of my adult life thinking that I really was a perfect person to just live in somewhere in Europe. that I did not think that I would react the way I did. And I didn't even know I wasn't really particularly homesick while I was in Europe. You know, I didn't mention that in the video. I wasn't really homesick. That wasn't the problem. It was that once I came back and I had been back a few months and got settled in here, I thought to myself, boy, there's this feeling that I can't deny, which is that with all the problems and the uncertainty and the craziness what's going on right now, this still feels like home, which is a weird thing to realize in the times that we're in right now. It is a weird thing to realize. But yeah, I'm with you, love 172. I feel the same way. But anyway, I just think honestly, if I had $20,000 and I could literally just pick up and go somewhere and go, you know, at least live temporarily in another country, I don't know. I don't know. Right now, my whole goal for this year, oh, don't forget to watch my video tomorrow on vision boards. I made a vision board for 2026. So please, those of you who are interested in that, please watch the video. Because I actually filmed me doing it. So I'm kind of like, you're not going to see all the time that I did it, but I'm going to like, you know, edit it so you see parts of it. But anyway, the point is that I didn't put anything on that vision board about wanting to go to another country or live in another country. It just feels like this year I am here to just regroup mentally, emotionally, financially, hopefully. And that's all I can do. That's all I can do. So it's not really even an option for me. I mean, I could say woulda, you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda, or what if, or whatever, but it doesn't really help the current situation. So anyway, uh, no, I don't do bingo. Doreen, you mean bingo cards? No, I don't do bingo. But thanks for asking. No, Ileana says transition to another culture is not easy. As one of my friends say, immigrating is not for the faint of heart. No, it is. And it's what I've said in that video, which is the key message was that could I go and live in another country? Sure. I know I can do that. I know I'm capable of emotionally doing that. Could I settle in to some degree? Sure. The difference is I know now something I did not know before I went, which is that it will never feel like home. It might feel nice. It might feel comfortable at times. I might meet wonderful people. I'm not saying that there won't be good things about it, but it will never feel like home. And part of that is my age. I really believe that if I had done it when I was younger, if I had been able to go and live overseas when I was, let's say, 40, I would feel very different. Yeah, I hope that makes sense to some of you. I had a few people in the comments on that video. They didn't seem to get what I was saying. They're like, well, how would you not know that before you went? Like, how would you know that before you go? I mean, how would you know that until you're actually for a long time in another country? You don't really know that. And then you come back. So it wasn't an awareness I had while I was in Europe. I mean, I did feel when I was there that I knew that I was always like, it was always going to be different for me, that I was never going to feel like a local. I mean, that was pretty obvious. But it wasn't until I got back that I realized this thing about home. And I don't know. I mean, Muriel, I hear what you say on the home is where the heart is, but I don't even know if it's about the heart. It's the fact that I have lived in the US for 65 years of my life. And when you've lived that long in one place, it is really hard to make another place home. It just is. It just is. Now, could I survive in another place and live the rest of my life out somewhere else? Sure. I'm just telling you how I feel. It doesn't mean I wouldn't do it. Doesn't mean that eventually, like I even said in the video, does that mean I'm not going to ever go and live overseas if I have the opportunity? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that I know it will never feel like home. Now I know that. And I will never unknow that, if that makes sense. Now, that being said, with what's happening in the US right now, my home country is changing. And it may get to a point it's completely unrecognizable. I hope that doesn't happen, but it might get to that point. I don't know. And if that happens, then yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel about that. So anyway, that's what I have to say about it. But I just wanted to follow up since somebody asked me about, the video, more about that video that I couldn't share absolutely every single thought or feeling in that video, or it would have been a really long video. Somebody else asked for a follow up on like what things I liked about the US versus what things I liked about Europe. I certainly could do that. And I'd say those things kind of balance out. Honestly, there's a lot of things I liked about it we don't do in the US or don't have in the US or whatever. And then there's things I like about the US, like window screens, just saying, window screens that I think I would miss if I didn't have that in another country. So anyway. And honestly, just a last note on this, I honestly think it's not just the US right now. I think there's a lot of places in the world. We're going through a huge amount of global change. I really think that is what's happening. There is a big global shift happening right now. And I don't know how long that's going to be. I think it's going to be longer than my lifetime before. So I don't know. So honestly, I think, yes, things have changed in Europe. They will continue to change in Europe. Things change here. Things are changing in Asia. They're changing in a lot of places in the world. So when I think about, like, if somebody said to me, like, if you had the money and the ability to go and live in the safest place you could, where would you go? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think a global, yeah, wild horses, exactly. There's a global shift going on because what one country does affects a lot of the other countries, obviously, in the world. And we are a global society anyway. I mean, the years of isolationism are over. Countries used to be relatively isolated, or they could be relatively isolated. It doesn't happen anymore. So just looking at it with the bigger picture, I don't know. I mean, trust me, I don't talk about it a lot on this channel, obviously, but I will say I'm very aware of, and I do follow everything that's going on. And yeah, we're just going to have to, all I would tell all of you is stay safe, do what you can to protect yourself and your family, and just stay safe as possible, and just not get too wrapped up in the news and let it upset you tremendously, because that's not helpful on an emotional level for you. So that's what I would say to people in general. Well, John, that's happened throughout history. The common people are treated like pawns by the rich and powerful elite. You look in any history book, and that's what's happened throughout history. The common people have always been pawns. That's just the way the world works, unfortunately. I mean, when we were hunter-gatherer societies, that didn't happen, but it happens now. That's true, Noreen. And that's the other thing too. If you're an expat and you live American and you live overseas, you still have to pay taxes to the US, which is not true of most other countries. They don't do that to their citizens, but yeah, that's a thing. Yes. Anyway, let's not end on this note. Let's try to end on something happier. So ask me some questions or things like this, and well, yeah, money creates greed. Sonata. So yeah, money has always been, hasn't money always been money and power? Money and power. Anyway, Ciara, let's change direction. Ciara asked, any plans for the week? I could ask you guys the same thing. Anybody have any big plans for the week? I do not. Uh, I have a therapist appointment and a doctor's appointment with my new provider at the same clinic. Because remember, my old provider, she was there for 2 visits and then she told me she was leaving. So now I'm getting a new guy who I think hopefully I'll like. And I'm going to see that guy on Wednesday. Other than that, I'm walking, exercising, making videos, probably go out for some short drives, but nothing too. I don't think we're going to get bad weather till like the end of the week, like it gets colder again. So, Leah, thank you for asking. I will reveal my car's name. This is it. You guys are getting an exclusive. Let's get those likes above 170, please. We're at 169. We got to get up into the 170s. Come on. I'm trying to build up my walking regimen, poodle for paws. Yeah. Anyway, my car and my car's name, her name, she's always a female. My car is always a female. Just that's how I roll. But just my car's name is Odyssey. Get it? Odyssey. Yeah. It just so fits what she's going to be doing. So her name is Odyssey. Anyway. So you guys are telling me what you're doing. Yes, Odyssey, Rick. That's exactly how it's spelled. Yeah. Yeah, I've always named my cars, Noreen. My last car, that was any of you, well, that you watched my old, I had some videos about it on my channel from before I was monetized. My old car's name was POS, if you know what that stands for, piece of, you know what. That's the name it got because it was that horrible. So most of my cars have had decent names, yeah, but no. Odyssey, that's her name. My little Chevy Trax. No, Jean-Marc, she does not travel in space. I think when I think of Odyssey, I think of Odysseus, you know, ancient Greek. And then the book, The Odyssey, of course. Yeah, pause, POS. Yeah. Yeah, that car never even had a chance for a real name because it literally had problems the day after I bought it. The old one I got a few years ago. So Happiness says, oh, thank you for being here, Happiness, and for being a member. Anyway, name my car Cream because she's a pastel beige. Yeah, the first car I ever had, which was my 1965 Mustang that my mom gave me. Well, she still kept it in her name, but she gave it to me my junior year in high school because she got a brand new Mustang. That car was, she was gold. She was, the color on her was honey gold. Oh, what a that was my favorite car I've ever had, honestly. And but her name, my mother named her, so I didn't rename her. Her name was Baby. So yeah, that was weird, but her name was Baby. So yeah. But I've had different names for cars. I mean, I'd say Odyssey though is probably, I think it's probably the biggest, you know, the name that really fits what I'm going to be doing with the car. So yes, that's true, Faith. We are all hurtling through space at millions of miles an hour right now as we speak. Oh, that's funny, Kelly. Named your first car Exxon because she leaked oil like crazy. I love it. That's great. Exxon. That's funny. Yeah. Oh, I wish, John Mark. My mother got rid of that Mustang when I went to college. Because remember, she still owned it. I would never willingly have gotten rid of that Mustang, but she sold it. You know, my mother did everything she could when I went off to college to make sure I had nothing to come back to. She had already moved to a one-bedroom apartment. She sold that car out from under me. So I didn't have a car. Oh, it was grim. Yeah. Yeah. There was a big message from my mom. Oh, you guys are sharing some cool names for cars. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my mom was looking forward to empty nest. Let me put it that way, HFC. So oh, I love that, Ciara. Pookie baby for the Mini Cooper. I love Pookie. Well, my ex-boyfriend, that was our names for each other. That was our pet names for each other was Pookie. That's the only time I've ever had that with somebody where it was like such a weird little pet name, but so Pookie is a very like near and dear to my heart name anyway. Yeah, Susanna, it didn't really work though. My mom, if she'd just done it in a more subtle way or like she eased me out into the world, maybe it would have worked better, but no, it didn't work very well. So, oh yeah, Sunzek, I do remember when they used to fill up your tank and go check your oil. What a concept, right? Thank you, Jose. Welcome in. I haven't seen you in here in a long time. Thank you for joining. Uh, oh, thanks, Faith. Oh, yeah, different levels of consciousness. I wanted to share, I'll share with you in the last few minutes here of the live stream. I had the most, I dream about my mom quite a bit, and I actually feel more connected to her now that she died than I did because I know she's still there. I know her soul is still alive. I know she's still out there. If you guys have watched my other channel, if you watch a couple of the videos on there, you know why I'm saying that. But anyway, I do dream about her. Last night I had a frustrating dream though about my mom that it was like we were living in our old apartment, the last apartment I lived with my mom in. And I was waiting for my mom to come back from a trip or something. And all these people kept showing up and saying, "Oh, your mom said we could stay here." And this was like a one-bedroom apartment. It was crazy. And so there was all these strangers that came into the apartment. And I was trying to get them to leave. I go, "I don't know you. Like, why are you here?" Right. And then looked out the window and I noticed that my mom had pulled up in her car, but then she had this weird guy in the car with her. And I thought, well, who is that? Like, I don't recognize that person. And I tried to gesture to my mom and she didn't look at me. Like, I never ended up connecting with her in the dream. It was very telling about our kind of weird relationship in some ways when she was alive, I mean. And so I woke up and I was kind of in tears because all I wanted to do was like see my mom and hug my mom. And then I had all these other people that were in the way, is what it felt like. So that was weird. It was a weird dream, but that's the kind of thing that, we had when I was a kid. I have good memories of my mom for the most part. But growing up, it's yeah, it was so troubled. because she really changed. A lot of it was because of the alcohol, because she drank so much. But it just changed so much that it just broke my heart, you know? And then she died, and we weirdly reconnected in a spiritual way. And that's still there, but I still have these dreams sometimes where it's still working out the pain and the frustration, you know what I mean? So, yes, Teffy, I do have lucid dreams. I'm very aware most of the time that it's a dream when I'm having it, and sometimes I'm able to change it. This one I dreamed right before I woke up this morning, and I don't think I realized it was a dream though, because those usually affect me a lot more if I don't realize it, obviously. So, HFC asked, "Do you know what prompted the alcoholism with my mom?" Genetics. She came from a long line of drunks, basically. I mean, that's just the truth. And her brother became an alcoholic when he was much younger, but with her, for some reason, it didn't take hold till she was in middle age. She started drinking more by the time she was 50. And then by the time she was 60, she was like drinking. I mean, really drinking for more than 20 years. Hard. And she was drinking like vodka, like a lot of vodka. So, yeah. And it changed her. I mean, her personality, she just became so, well, kind of indifferent and then kind of mean. I mean, not the meanest drunk I've ever seen or anything, but just she didn't care. She just didn't care about anything or anyone else. So it was a very sad thing to see, because she had been such an amazing person when I was a teenager. And that was like her best self when she was alive, I think. And it was she did tell me years later that her happiest years were those years from when she was like 40 to 50. And that was when I was in my teens for the most part. And that, I know that was her happiest years, because she was just, the only time she drank was socially then. She didn't drink all the time. She didn't get massively drunk a lot. The only time I saw her drunk is she would go out to parties, and like once or twice a month, and she would come back from those drunk. But other than that, she didn't really drink a lot. So, but it got worse as she got older. Joni, my mom died from, well, she was 90. She had turned 90, and she had it was some sort of lung infection. I'm not really sure whether she'd gotten pneumonia or what, but anyway, it turned into an infection. She went to the doctor. They said that they could treat it. They'd have to put her in the hospital. And my mom just decided that she didn't want treatment. I think she just decided she was done. She wanted to make it to 90. And when she made it to 90, she just didn't want to go on. So she said, nope. And he goes, well, you're not going to survive this. And she says, that's okay. They put her on hospice. She died less than 2 weeks later. Technically, she died of sepsis because it became an infection in her system. But yeah, that's what happened to my mom. But I respect her decision about that. I do. I mean, she had not been in good health. She had stopped drinking when she was 83. Otherwise, she would have died at 83. I mean, her alcoholism was so bad that the doctor said she wouldn't have lived to be 84. But she gave up alcohol because she went into a assisted living, and they didn't allow alcohol. And so the last 7 years of her life, she was able to live because she wasn't drinking anymore. But boy, she was a dry drunk, and it didn't help her mood at all. So she was an angry, sober person. Let's put it that way. But that's what happens. We make our bed and we lie in it. That's what happens. So I've gone through that. I went through that during my wasteland years. I know. When you do something to yourself, whatever it is, and you destroy yourself, then you got to pick up the pieces. So, Yeah, Teffy, it was just 2 weeks. I mean, she already, I guess, was really sick when she went to the doctor, and so she didn't last too long. But that's good. She didn't have to suffer a lot. So, yeah, I never had an alcohol. The alcohol thing was never going to be a thing with me. I didn't inherit that gene, apparently. I inherited more from my dad's side. There was no alcoholics on my dad's side of the family. No alcoholics. In fact, people, even though they were Italian, they didn't even drink much wine. So they just weren't into alcohol. And that was a saving grace for me, let me tell you. Really was. Because I watched what it did to my uncle, and I watched what it did to my mother. And of course, my grandfather had been an alcoholic, but he had quit when he was about 40 years old. And he lived to be about 83. He didn't drink the last half of his life at all. And he actually became a better person as a result. So, but he was strong enough to be able to just stay sober for more than 40 years. And anyway, so I think we'll wrap it up today. I think we always, like, today was a lot of deep stuff, wasn't it? Let's get those likes up to 200, please. If you haven't hit the like button yet. Yes, thanks, Ciara. Anyway, thank you all for being here. As I said, if you weren't here for the beginning of the live stream, I will not be doing Tuesday live streams for a while. I will let you know if I restart those. There's several reasons why I'm not doing them, but we'll concentrate on Saturdays. We'll do good Saturday live streams, and we'll go as long as we need to go sometimes. But we're just going to do a live stream once a week. There will be a video out tomorrow. My other regular videos will now, because I'm not doing live streams, they'll come out on Wednesdays. So stay tuned for one on coming up on Wednesday as well. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being part of the channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I tell you, I really love getting on here and being able to connect with you every Saturday. So thank you so much. Have a good rest of your weekend and week. I really take care, all of you. And thank you. We got over 200 likes. Yay. Thank you all. Take care. Oops, got to hit this. Bye.